Let's talk about travel. I love to travel, and I visited quite a few places in Europe. Sometimes it was just for a weekend getaway. It's nice to visit other towns in the UK for a weekend if I don't have too much holiday time. But sometimes I go away for a festival. For example, in Copenhagen, there's a heavy metal festival called Copenhagen. I visited that for a week and saw lots of great bands. My favourite was Primus. They're an amazing band. Copenhagen is a lovely city as well. Quite busy but peaceful because so many people cycle. And when I was a student, I went backpacking across Europe. I took the train from London with just my backpack and went to 4 different countries over 3 weeks. I saw France, Germany, the Netherlands and Austria, all by train. When I travelled on the trains, I saw so much beautiful countryside. It was very peaceful to look out the window and see the trees and green fields and mountains going by. And in Amsterdam, I loved the fresh air, the picturesque canals. The Rijksmuseum was a wonderful place to visit. In France, I saw the Palace of Versailles. It's a very famous historical place. Very, very fancy. And Germany had delicious beer, and the old town hall in Munich was very pretty. And in Austria, I visited Salzburg. That's the town where Mozart was born. When I climbed Salzburg Mountain and looked over the scenery, it was breathtaking. I would love to go back there again. But my favourite part of that trip was Vienna. It's a city with a lot of history. The architecture is amazing. There are statues of mythological figures and famous important people. But I'll always remember my last night. I met some other travellers, some Americans and Canadians, in the hostel where I was staying. And we spent the last night sitting by the Danube River, drinking beer and talking about the places that we had seen and the places that we wanted to visit. If only I had had more time and more money, I would have kept going on my adventure. I would have jumped back on the train, headed east into Budapest, and then who knows where I could have gone. But of course I had to go home. But I will always remember that night. The moon shining on the river, the noise of nightclubs in the distance playing music, and the stories that we shared together. How about you? What is a holiday memory that you will never forget?